Good evening, students. This is 12th standard botany video class, video 10. In this video, we are going to continue the same lesson, asexual and sexual reproduction in plants. Dear students, last video class, we have seen what is cell pollination and its method, what is cross pollination and its method, then the consequences of cross pollination. There is different method is there, that is dichogamy, ergogamy, heterostyle and self-sterility or self-incompatibility. These are all the different mechanism to induce the cross pollination. The next topic is agent of pollination. Some biotic and abiotic factor which are transferring the pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of a flower. That process is called pollination with the help of external agent. The agent divided into two. One is the biotic factor, another one is the abiotic agent or factor. First one, abiotic agent are water and air. Pollination is taken by air or wind, that is called anemophily. Pollination taken place by water, that is called hydrophily. Another one, biotic factor divided into two. One is the zoophily, another one is the entomophily. Pollination is taken place by animals is called zoophily. Pollination taken by different types of insects, that is called entomophily. Up to this only we have seen in the previous video class. Now in this video we are going to see the different agent of pollination. There is cross pollination process, abiotic agent as well as the biotic agent. Dear students, first one, anemophily. The word anemo, which means wind or air, phily, which means pollination. So cross pollination taken place by abiotic factor, that is wind or air. That pollination is called anemophily. So the flowers which are doing wind pollination is named as anemophilous flowers. Normally, this pollination is taken place in wind exposed regions. In those regions only, this type of pollination is taken place. This is the chance event only, because whenever the wind blows heavily, then only it is possible. That's why they given it is a chance event. Therefore, you are unable to find out the pollen which is reaching the stigma or not. So the reaching of the pollen to the stigma of a flower by wind is not effectively taken place. Some pollen grains are wasted whenever carry from the anther to the stigma of a flower. There is one flower to another flower of a stigma. One flower of anther to the stigma of a another flower. So that's why it is named as chance event. Most of the pollen grains are wasted. This pollination is not more effective than the other pollination, but even though pollen grains are carried away by the wind whenever the wind blows heavily or strongly, so the pollen grains are reaches to the stigma. At the same time, most of the pollen grains are wasted. This type of pollination is called anemophily. Example, grasses, sugarcane, bamboo, coconut, palm and maize. So the write a short notes on anemophily is the important 3-mark question. Pollination taken place by wind. Flowers which are doing wind pollination is called anemophilous. This is taken place in the wind exposed region. It is a chance event only. At the same time, pollen grains are not effectively reaches to the stigma of another flower. Example, different example is given here. This type of pollination is called wind pollination or anemophily. Next, we are going to see the important 5-mark question. What are all the characteristic features which are having the anemophilous flowers? What is anemophilous flowers? Flowers which are doing pollination by wind or air. That type of pollination is called, that type of flowers is called anemophilous flowers. So these flowers, to do the wind pollination, they are having certain characteristic feature in the arrangement of a flower. First one, the flowers are produced in the pendulous, catkin-like or spike inflorescence. So spike inflorescence means pendulum. கடிகாரத்தில் பெண்டுலம் பழைய ஓல்டு கடிகாரத்தில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா சென்டரில் நீட்டாக லாங் ராட் வித் டிப்பில் ஒரு பாப் லைக் ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் இஸ் தேர். That is said to be pendulum. So like that, the flower inflorescence are produced in the form of pendulous catkin is a type of inflorescence or spike inflorescence. Next one, the axis of inflorescence elongates so that the flowers are brought well above the leaves. So it will be pendulum means the length of the inflorescence axis is very long. So the inflorescence is protruded outside above the leaves, so that this type of wind pollination is possible due to the elongation of inflorescence axis. Then the perianth is absent. What is perianth? A modified form of calyx and corolla is called perianth, or either one of the whorl is absent, either calyx or corolla, that is called a perianth. The perianth is absent or reduced. At the same time, the flowers are very small, inconspicuous, that is not clear, colorless, not bright color, no scent, not scented, and also not secreting any nectar secreting gland. தேனெல்லாம் எதுவுமே சுரக்கிறதில்ல. So small, inconspicuous, that means not clear, colorless, not scented, do not secrete nectar. Then the stamens are many, that is numerous. The filament of the stamen is long, exerted, that is protruded outside, and versatile. Versatile means they are swinging in the air freely. That means the anther lobe which is attached to the tip of the filament, so that they are freely swinging in the air. காத்தில் ஆடிட்டு இருக்கும். That is said to be versatile. Then the anther produce large amount of enormous quantities of pollen grains compared to the number of ovules which is present in the gynoecium. So that this type of wind pollination is possible. A flowers with producing enormous quantity of pollen grains with the number of ovules and compared to the number of ovules available for pollination. The enormous pollen grains which is produced in the flowers when compared to the ovules, they are very small, சின்னதாக இருக்குது, light weight, and also dry, காஞ்சி போயிருக்கும், so that they can be carried by long distance by wind. In some plants, the anther lobe burst violently, forcefully, and release the pollen grains outside or in the air. Example, urtica. Stigmas are comparatively large. So both stamen and stigma is also large, protruding. That means it comes out of the flower, and also branched, feathery, that is hair-like outgrowth, which is present in the stigma. And also they are adapted to catch the pollen grains. And also generally single ovule only present inside the ovary. At the same time, the plants produce the flowers before the formation of young leaves. தளிரலை விழுது இல்லையா, அது வரத்துக்கு முன்னாடி they are producing the flowers. So this is also one of the character. The pollen grains which are carried out by wind without the disturbance of leaves. That is said to be hindrance of leaves. So these are all the different characteristic feature of the anemophilous flowers. So these are all the characteristic feature which are shown in the anemophilous flowers, that means wind pollinated flowers. Some example of pollinating by wind we are going to see in the next pages. So this is the pollination in maize. The binomial name is Zea mays. The Zea mays plant is the monoecious plant and unisexual. That means both male and female flowers are present in the same plant but different region or a place. That is called monoecious and also unisexual. The male inflorescence is called tassel, which is produced at the tip of the plant. And the female inflorescence is called cob, which is produced lateral position at the lower region. The pollen grains which are produced in the male inflorescence are large and also heavy, நல்லா வெயிட்டாக இருக்கும், and cannot be carried by light breeze. However, the mild wind, that means breeze wind, shakes the pollen grains from the male inflorescence to release the pollen grains which falls vertically below. The female inflorescence has the long stigma which is called silk, measuring up to 23 centimeter in length, which projects, that means comes outside beyond the leaves, so that the pollen grains are dropped from the tassel is caught by the stigma. So that is the pollination by wind which is taken place in maize plant, that is Zea mays. See the diagram. This is the maize plant. The plant which are having two type of inflorescence. One is the male inflorescence which are producing male flowers named tassel, which is present at the or produced at the tip of the plant. Another one, female inflorescence named as cob, produced in the lateral side in the lower branches of the plant, which are producing the female flower. The stigma of the female flower is named as silk because it is combined together stigma and style. That's why it is named as silk. Whenever the wind blows, the pollen grains are reaches to the stigma of the female inflorescence and pollination is taken place. So, but the production of pollen grains in the maize plant is heavy, so that light breeze cannot able to carry the pollen grains from the male inflorescence to the female inflorescence called cob. So whenever the wind blows heavily, at the time only, it transfers the pollen grains from the male flower to the female flower named cob. But most of the time, due to the light breeze, the male inflorescence shakens and liberate the pollen grains to the stigma of the female inflorescence is called silk. That is the pollination taken place by wind in zea mays or maize plant. Dear students, pollination zea mays is the very much important 5-mark question. Once again, I am repeating the answer. Pollination by wind is taken place in maize plant, zea mays. It produces 2 types of inflorescence. One is the male inflorescence producing terminally, that is at the tip. Another one is the female inflorescence, which is produced the lower branch and also the lateral side of the branches, which is called cob. Male inflorescence named as tassel. When the wind blows lightly, it shakes the male inflorescence to drop the pollen grains to the female inflorescence cob. The female inflorescence which are having the female flower with a stigma and style are fused together. So this type of stigma is named as silk. That's why wind pollination is taken place in zea mays. Next type is hydrophily. That is, pollination is taken place by water. The flowers which are doing hydrophily type of pollination is called hydrophilous flowers. Example, Vallisneria and Hydrilla. Dear students, there are number of aquatic plants, that is water living plant is there, but only few of them which are showing hydrophily or water pollination. The floral envelope of the hydrophilous plants are reduced or absent. Floral envelope means the different region of the flower, either male flower or female flower, that envelopes are very much reduced in hydrophilous plants, or it is absent. In water plants such as Eichhornia and water lily, pollination is taken place through wind or water pollination. In Eichhornia and lily, water lily, the water pollination is taken place by wind or by insects. Number of plants which are living in the water is called hydrophytic plants. But few plants only they are showing the water pollination or hydrophily. A water plant such as Eichhornia and water lily, which are doing wind pollination or entomophily, that is insect pollination. The hydrophily, which is divided into 2 types. One is epihydrophily, another one is the hypohydrophily. In most of the water living flowers showing the hydrophily or water pollination, the pollen grains are covered with mucilaginous substances which protect them from wetting. For example, lotus leaf is there. The water droplets does not stick into the lotus leaves and also water lily leaves. That means the leaves are covered with mucilaginous substance. Likewise, pollination taken place by water plants producing pollen grains which is covered with mucilaginous substances. These mucilaginous substances which protect the pollen grains from wetting. Now we are going to see the different types of hydrophily. Hydrophily divided into two types, epihydrophily and hypohydrophily. Most of the plants which are living in the water, they are not doing the water pollination. Some of them which are doing wind pollination and some of them which are doing insect pollination, that is anemophily and entomophily. Few plants only which are showing the hydrophily type of pollination. In hydrophily type of pollination, the flowers producing the pollen grains which are covered with mucilaginous substances. These substances protect the pollen grains from wetting. First one, we are going to see epihydrophily. That means the pollination occur at the water level. தண்ணிக்கு மேலே நடக்கும். Example, Balisneria spiralis, Elodia is the two example of epihydrophily. Epi means outer surface. We all know that in epidermis, dermal means layer. Epi means outer surface, isn't it? Likewise, the pollination occurs at the water level, that is called epihydrophily. Example, Balisneria spiralis, Elodia. We are going to see how pollination is taken place in Balisneria spiralis, that is epihydrophily. This Balisneria plant is a dioecious plant. That means it produces the male flower and female flower separately. That is called dioecious. And also submerged part of a plant body which is merged in the water, part of the plant parts which is emerged outside the water region, that is said to be submerged. And also rooted hydrophytes. The root region is which is attached to the bottom of the pond water or water region. The female plant bears solitary flowers which rise to the surface of the water level using a long coiled stalk at the time of pollination. So female plant and male plant are separately located in the water level. Most of them, they are rooted to the soil, partly submerged, partly located above the water level. The female plant which are producing the single flower, that is solitary flower, which rise to the surface of the water with the help of a long coiled stalk at the time of pollination. Whenever they are reaching the water level, a small cup-shaped depression or cavity pallo formed around the female flower on the surface of the water. The flower sutti, they are producing a small cup-shaped depression on the surface of the water. The male plant which are producing the male flowers get detached, that means separated, as a male flowers come in contact with the female flower and pollination taken place. The stalk of the female flower coils and goes under water where fruits are produced. So once fertilization has taken place, the ovary is modified into fruit. Once fruit is formed at the water level, the stalk of a female flower coils and goes under the water where fruits are produced. So this is said to be the epihydrophilic pollination in Vallisneria. Once again, Vallisneria is a dioecious plant. It produces male and female plants separately, submerged, that is partly immersed inside the water, partly it is located above the ground level, that is water level, rooted. The roots are attached to the bottom of the water. Hydrophytes, dioecious, submerged, rooted hydrophytes. Female plant produce solitary flowers, that is single flowers, which rise to the surface of the water level by using the long coiled stalk which is produced at the time of pollination. At the same time, male flower produce the male flowers which is detached, cut off from the male plant and float on the surface of the water. As soon as male flower comes in contact with the female flower, pollination is taken place. At that time, stalk of the female flower coils and get back to the underwater level where the fruits are produced. Before going to take the pollination process, the female flower produces a small cup-shaped depression around the female flower on the surface of the water level. This type of pollination is seen in the Vallisneria plant. See the diagram. This is the water level. Two type of plant, male plant and the female plant. First one, female plant. See, they are having long coiled stalk which are producing only one flower. Once it reaches to the water level, the flowers are produce a small cup-shaped depression around the flower on the water level. At the time, the female flower is also liberated male plant also liberate the male flower. This male flower reaches the water level and fuses with the female flower. At that time, the stalk of the female flower coiled and goes under the water where the fruits are produced. The shape of the leaf is ribbon-shaped leaves. The plant is said to be the dioecious, male and female plants separately, submerged, partly it is fully merged into the water. Flowers only goes to the water level. Fully submerged, water tannile mulgirukum. And also rooted, that means attached to the bottom of the water soil. That is said to be pollination in Vallisneria. Next one is the second type, hypohydrophily. The pollination is taken place inside the water. First one, pollination taken place at the water level, topmost water level. But here, the pollination is taken place inside the water. Example, Zostera marina and Ceratophyllum. Zostera marina is a submerged marine seagrass. தண்ணிக்குள்ளே மூழ்கி இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு புல்செடி, marine seagrass, கடல் இருக்கக்கூடியது. Pollination is taken place under the water. This plant produces long pollen grains. The shape of the pollen grains are needle-like. They produce the needle-like pollen grains and also larger in size. These pollen grains are shed under the water. தண்ணிக்குள்ளே விழுந்துரும். The specific gravity of the pollen is same as that of the sea water, so that the pollen floats freely at any depth. The pollen grains are freely floating in the depth of the sea water. The stigma is also very large and long. Due to the water current, the pollen grains come in contact with the stigma and gets coiled around the stigma, thus affecting the pollination. So this type of pollination is called a hypohydrophily. That means pollen is taken place inside the water. Example, Zostria. The Zostria is a marine seagrass which is submerged under the marine water or sea water. It produces large pollen grains and also needle shaped. They shed their pollen grains under the water. The specific gravity of the pollen grains are same as to the sea water, so that the pollen grains are freely floating at the depth of the sea water. The stigma of the female flower is very large and long. So the pollen comes in contact with the stigma and gets coiled around the stigma region. Thus pollination is taken place in Zostera under the water. So this type of pollination is called hypohydrophily. So these are all the two types of hydrophily. The last one is the zoophily, that is pollination is taken place by animals. So flowers which are doing zoophily is named as zoophilus. Animals such as birds, bat, snail and insects are helping the biotic factor for zoophily pollination. Out of these different animals, insect pollination is well adapted. So larger animals like primates, arboreal rodents, reptiles, that is gecko, lizard and garden lizard also responsible for pollinating agent. So this type of pollination is called a zoophily. Dear students, up to this I conclude my video. Remaining we will see in the next video class. God bless you. All the best children.